Hello, great minds. Hope you're doing awesome and lovely today. Well, today I want to talk about the maturity of learning. Yes, and before I talk about that, I really want to express the truth that knowledge is very important. It's very important you chase after knowledge. Now, look at life. To move forward in life, you definitely would not do without zigzags. And those zigzags are actually what we call challenges. But really, in the right sense of it, these are not challenges. These are actually opportunities for us to learn and become better people. Now, take for example, we have a straight line, just like you have in your regular audio signal. Let me put it that way, audio signal, of which music is a part of audio and sound. So just like we have the regular horizontal line. Now, when you look at that horizontal line, when you're recording in the studio, if there is no zigzag on it, it simply means complete silence. That means there is no signal coming in, there is no audio. And what this simply means is, in life, if you don't find an opportunity to learn, you actually have nothing to offer. Now, let me bring you further again. There's actually what we have, or what we call the sinusoidal waveform. That's where we have the zigzag, sometimes curved, sometimes sharp edges, but it's actually a sinusoidal waveform. Now, what that sinusoidal waveform simply means is there are people above your line, up, and there are people below your line, just like you have on your screen right now. People are above and people below. The people above your line are the people who know far much more than you do. And you ought to actually learn from these people. Now, the truth is, a lot of times we get caught up in only learning from people that we perceive or people that we feel are better than us. And we forget to learn from those who are below the line. That's, the sinusoidal waveform goes up, comes back to the line, then comes down before it goes up. But we are lost in learning from those above us. And we forget that there is so much knowledge with those that are below that line. Take, for example, recently my son picked up his toy piano and he was just playing around, And wow, at a point I just listened and I caught something and I was amazed. And immediately I caught that particular use of dynamics. It was a use of dynamics. He made use of that. He was unconscious of. I tried it on my bass guitar and I came up with something awesome. I was amazed that, wow. So I could actually learn from this little one. The truth is, wisdom and knowledge can be found in places you never expect. So as much as you learn from people above the curve, also ensure that you learn from people below the curve. Now, some of them might not even know what they played. Some of them might not know what technique they applied. I mean, in life, they might not know what principle they harnessed to get that result. But when you listen, you discover that there's something very vital, or some things that are very vital that you could pick from whatever it is they did, be it in engineering, whatever field of life, music, and every aspect of life. So as much as you learn from people above your curve, also make sure that you learn from people below your curve. Now, this is an example. Some people were on a journey. I think a couple, I heard this story a few years ago. A couple were on a journey and they got to a point where one of the tires flung off the car. And they checked and didn't find it. So they were lost. They had a spare tire, but now they couldn't find the tire. Neither could they find the nuts and the bolts that fastened the tire to the wheel. So they kept brainstorming. What do we do about this? How do we go about this challenge? How do we cross this hurdle? And they spent several hours. Lo and behold, beside them was a man who was just seated there watching them, who they never took note of. He kept watching them for several hours. He was watching. And after a while, he just stood up. And in Yoruba, he said, Sheti Yawireni. In Hausa, Kana Haukani. Said, Sheti Yawireni. That's, what he said it in Yoruba, but I'll translate in English. He said, why can't you pick one nut from each of the 3 tires and use to fasten your spare tire until you get to where you can actually buy new nuts? that was the worst, that was the really, really terrible part of it. Because when they looked at him, actually this was a man that was insane. A madman, like we say in Nigeria. A madman. And this man had knowledge and wisdom for the moment they were in at that time. Probably they even saw him, but just, they overlooked him. But he brought forth knowledge that was useful for the challenge they were facing. What am I driving at? There's so much knowledge everywhere. Don't disregard those under your straight line. Don't disregard them. Don't disregard those above your curve, and don't disregard those below your curve, because definitely everyone has got something to offer. I want to take this time to appreciate so many people who are learning from me, who don't know I have learned a lot from them also. I mean, on the Bazzik mentorship program, which I'm running, some people, when I give assignments, they submit their assignments, and I see some mistakes that could actually be new techniques for me to learn and start harnessing, and immediately I grab them. So I want to appreciate everyone, both those above my curve and those below my curve. Thank you so much for inspiring me to be the better person, the better bass player I am today. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a blessed day.